Thinking about retiring in Colorado and just want to know where the top 55 and older communities are? Well, that's what this video is for. Let's get started. Christy Lee here, and I am a local real estate agent in the state of Colorado, but more importantly, I am a native of Colorado. If you're new to my channel, all of my videos are here to help you figure out where the best place to move to. If that's something that interests you, please click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. Now, as much as I love making these videos for you, I love helping you more. So please reach out to me anytime. My contact information is right there, and I'd be happy to help. All right, so today I'm going to be talking about the top 55 and older communities that I definitely think you should consider moving to if you're planning on retiring in Colorado. Now, I do have personal experience in this situation or this area. No, I have not retired yet, nor am I in the age bracket that these communities require, but my parents do live in one and they absolutely love it. They couldn't speak more highly of living in one, and you better believe once I am of age, me and my husband will be moving into one of these communities because they're that cool. All right, so I'm going to talk about two. The first one is Heritage at Todd Creek in Thornton, Colorado. So that's going to be the first one, and this is actually where my parents do live. Now, Heritage at Todd Creek is going to be on the east side of I-25, and it's going to be located roughly 15 miles and about 25 minutes from Denver. You're actually located right off of E470. So if you're someone who needs to get to the airport or whatever, it is literally located right off of E470. So you could get to the airport in roughly 25 minutes or so. Now, the cool thing about this particular community is that it is located on a golf course, the public golf course of Todd Creek. So if you're a golfer, this is a prime location for you if you're planning on retiring and just golfing all the time like my dad does. So these homes are going to be all patio homes, or at least one level homes, I should say, ranch homes. And then you do have some that are going to be connected, so more like the patio homes. You are going to be ranging anywhere between 600,000 to low 1 millions. Again, depending on what you're looking for, how big of a home you're looking for, whether or not you're on the golf course itself, or if you are backing up to maybe the mountains. It's all going to vary depending on where you're located within the community. This community is solely built by Lennar Homes, and there's roughly 1,300 homes in this community, so it is pretty large. Now, a cool thing about Todd Creek is that, yes, you are on the golf course, which is super cool, but you have a restaurant in the clubhouse, so you still could have that. The clubhouse as a whole is amazing. So yes, the golfers still could use the restaurant and the bar area, but as residents of Todd Creek, you could utilize obviously all that as well, but you have 2 swimming pools, you have tennis courts, a gym, aerobic area, dance area. There's over 50 clubs that you could join, from darts to bowling to crafting, working out, whatever it might be. So this is a great area if you want to go and you want to meet your neighbors or be involved a lot, in the clubs and stuff with your neighbors. It's a great area for that. Now, I will say with Todd Creek, there's obviously going to be an HOA, and it's going to really depend on which side or which type of house you have, depending on how much it's going to be. So if you have a single family home that is detached, you're going to be paying roughly $200, $250 for that particular type of home for the HOA. If you're going to have a paired home, so one that's going to be attached to each other or attached to another home, that is going to be a little bit more. I would say it's going to be closer to the 400 mark. Now, the reason why is that you still have the normal HOA that's going to be paying for the clubhouse and the pool and all the amenities and the grounds, all that stuff. But then you're paying a little bit more because you actually have the maintenance of your landscaping, your, like, say, roof, your outdoor siding or outdoor structure of your house. That is all being taken care of within that HOA that you're additionally paying. So it is going to be a little bit different depending on, which type of home you choose. Now, the second community I definitely think you should look into is going to be Anthem Ranch in Broomfield. So this is going to be for people who are going to be wanting to be closer to Boulder. You are only going to be roughly 12 miles away from Boulder, about 25 minutes from Denver. It's really not they're pretty close to each other. From Taw Creek to Anthem Ranch, you're only actually about 15 minutes away from each other, but it's a completely different feel between the two communities. Now, Anthem Ranch is going to be something more for the people who like the outdoors. There is not a golf course here, so it's not a golf course community. It has a 32,000 square foot clubhouse that is immaculate. It's 2 levels. Even like the gym itself is 2 levels in there. There's an indoor lap pool as well as an outside pool for residents as well. There's an outdoor amphitheater. You have tennis courts, softball field, bocce courts, pickleball, and then 48 miles of trails that you can utilize. There is a fishing pond. You could go fishing out there. There's just so much things that you could do if you're somebody who loves to be outside. Now, the builders on this particular community was Toll Brothers and Del Webb. And I'm actually not familiar with Del Webb, but definitely Toll Brothers. These are going to be all priced within 600 to low millions as well. So they're going to be all relatively the same. I will say though that the HOA is going to be a little bit different over in Anthem. So it's going to be about the same amount of money, 200 to 300 depending. But one thing about Anthem that you should know is that when you purchase a house in Anthem, part of your closing costs, you actually have to pay a transfer fee to be part of their HOA. And this is going to total 0.3% of the overall purchase price of your home. So do kind of keep that in the back of your mind that when you move into Anthem Ranch, or anywhere in Anthem for that matter, but Anthem Ranch is the 55 and older community, that you will have to pay 0.3% of the overall closing cost to be part of the HOA. So, take it or leave it. It's just part of being part of Anthem. But it is a great location if you're somebody who wants to be really close to Boulder, really close to outdoors. Now, Anthem Ranch is not a gated community. Taw Creek is. One thing I will say about both, and something that you should be aware of with both, is that obviously these are 1-story homes, so ranch style homes. Some will have basements, some will not. Some have 2-car garages, some have 3-car garages. But one thing you absolutely should know is the backyards typically are not going to be all that big, and you are usually going to be sharing your space in the backyard with your neighbors. There's not going to be gates or fences or anything like that. Typically, the HOA will not allow that. I think honestly it's just to promote being part of your neighbors. I will vouch for my parents and say that their neighbors and them are always, moving around in the backyard, going from fire pit to fire pit and barbecue to barbecue. And they just, there's no fences. They just see each other all the time in the backyard or the front yard. So do know that if you're somebody who likes your privacy and you want fence and stuff like that, you're not going to get that in the 55 and older communities, or at least not these two. I will also say that when it comes to kids being part of that community, so yes, absolutely, you could have grandkids over at your house. Typically though, they can't live there. But if you want to take them to the pool or anything like that, you absolutely can do that. but usually there's going to be specific days or specific hours of the day that you can bring kids there, because, you know, obviously it is going to be a 55 and older community, so they don't want a bunch of 2 and 3 year olds running around when, you know, people are trying to enjoy the pool on their own time. So, you know, just kind of keep that in mind, of the different type of lifestyle that these offer their residents. Now, I will say, especially with my parents, I have never seen them party so hard. It's like they reverted back to their 20s and they're hanging out with their neighbors constantly. They're part of so many clubs that it is really cool to see because it's just so fun. You're definitely not lonely in these communities because everybody is out and about and talking to each other. So I highly recommend at least researching them, reaching out to me if you have any questions regarding Tog Creek or Anthem Ranch. I am here to help in any way. Remember to click that subscribe button right there. That way you are notified every time I have a new video. And then to the next video, take care.